On the afternoon of August 18th, 1973, 5 young people in a Volkswagen van ran out of gas on a farm road in South Texas. 4 of them were never seen again. The next morning, the one survivor, Sally Hardesty Enright, was picked up on a roadside, blood-caked and screaming murder.
Hey, lick my plate, you dog dick!
Hello and welcome to Pod Culture Vultures. With me, your cheeky little Deval, Robert Duval. Devil. Me. And with me, as always, is my hetero life mate, Kev Arenosh. How's that hanging, sir?
Very well.
Lovely. Love to hear it.
Lovely stuff.
Lovely stuff. So, what sort of week you had then, sir?
A very good one, thank you very much. Yeah, awesome. Checked out a couple of new movies. We threw up a little review on the old social for a film called Kate.
Oh, yeah.
With the wonderful Mary Elizabeth Winstead, which is basically her turn at doing a bit of John Wick.
John Wick.
Which is, set in Japan. And it's amazing. Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
she could have a go on my Wick.
What up?
Rude.
Nice beaver.
How about your week? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's not a bad week. I don't think I can get any more petrol in my car.
Well, yeah, supposedly the world's run out of petrol.
Yeah. I don't know. The world's run out of a lot of things, but I don't think petrol's one of them.
There's no shortage of fuel.
There might not be a shortage of fuel, but it's not getting to the pumps, is it? That's the problem.
It makes me laugh. It's just because people just flock to the petrol stations like bloody lemons. We're not going to run out of petrol.
No.
And how many of these gits are going to the petrol stations,
yeah.
right? And all they need to do is top up like a £5. Or you get those right wankers who they roll up in their big old pointless SUVs, and they fill up their tank, maybe they last like 75p or whatever, and then they open the fucking boot, and then they start fucking loading up with all the other canisters. They have like 4, 5, 6 canisters.
Yeah, well, you're only supposed to do 2 at a time, but there have been pictures on the internet of people filling up shitloads, which is a little bit selfish.
But we're not going to run out.
No.
We're not at that point, but we're not at Mad Max time yet.
No, we're not Mad Max.
And even when we get to that point, we'll all be driving like hybrid or hydrogen or electric cars.
Yeah.
By the time the world doesn't have any more gasoline.
When we do get to that point, I will just be wearing leather though.
I am a heterosexual. I love vaginas.
Will ya?
Yes.
Yeah. You have a little dog walking around next to you.
No dogs.
No dogs.
No dogs in here.
No dogs in here.
Yeah, but I think with the whole... Look, I actually, joking aside, I do need to get some petrol because I'm on the red.
Yeah, I know. You've got 43 miles left, haven't you?
Yeah, but what I think as well is, if I go and queue up, people are going to think that I'm a cunt for going to get some fuel. But also, what I do find funny, is if you think about it, people are saying, oh, these idiots are going to get petrol, bell ends and all that, but they're saying that while sat in a queue waiting to get to a petrol station. Look at all these idiots buying petrol. Yeah, you're one of them. Because you're saying that, but you're in the back of the queue whining because you're not at the front, mate.
Well, we drove past a petrol station, didn't we? On the way, well, a few of them on the way here, and there was the Shell garage in which they closed all the other lanes down. They had just the one open.
Well, they've only got one set of pumps with fuel left.
Well, yeah, because they've probably only got about £5 left.
Squids. Yeah. Anyway, that's a bit of observational comedy. Do you remember, Kev? Do you remember when there was no petrol?
No petrol at all.
No petrol. You go down the petrol station. You go down the petrol station. There'd be no petrol left. What would you do? You'd fuck off back home, have a pint, and smack your wife round the head. No, none of that.
The craziness is arising again in this bloody country.
Yes. Do you remember Panda Pops? Peter Kay.
But But
Do you remember Peter Kit, Kev? Do you remember how funny he was when he was on
Phoenix
telly?
Nights.
Phoenix Nights, talking about Panda Pop, stuff you couldn't get anymore. Ice poles, you know. Dog shit, white dog shit on your payment. Remember white dog shit, Kev? Do you remember white dog shit?
White dog shit, yeah.
White
Just does
dog
Tesco
shit.
commercials what he used to, didn't he?
What dog shit? Oh yeah, white dog shit. Yeah. So anyway,
So that's how people are spending their Saturday afternoons.
Anyway, this is the first episode of our October horror extravaganza. So we've got 5 horror films coming up, which we're going to look at, pull apart for your delectation, and then it'll be Halloween, and we can all go out and
Celebrate your birthday.
yeah, shh, don't broadcast the handle, Kev.
Well, they know that now, don't they?
Yeah, but
Send your birthday cards into.
yeah, you can go and trick or treat or trick.
What shall we talk about?
So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, another sequel in our horror season for Halloween. Halloweenies. So, this was the second movie in this Chainsaw Massacre franchise. 1986 it came out, which was 13 years after the original.
Yeah, I thought there was quite a bit of time with that.
It was a massive one. I mean, obviously the original it was very low budget, wasn't it? It was almost like an independent film. I think this second one was still made by
The same director.
and that, and it obviously had a bigger budget than the original one did.
Well, he done Poltergeist by that point, didn't he?
Yeah, but
Which was a huge success.
well, which also had Spielberg's
Backing.
yeah, which is a little bit rare. But yeah, so 13 years after it, and what they've done is they've kept it at that timeline, basically saying that all these massacres and killings happened, but no one could find any evidence of anything.
Yeah, they couldn't find. So basically, the girl who gets away had said to the authorities that tried to give them the location of this house, the family, but nothing was ever found.
No.
But the killings endured.
Yeah, it did, and it kind of says at the beginning that it's happening in different areas of Texas.
Yeah.
Over that 13-year period,
Which gives you the impression that they're obviously not staying put anymore.
No. I think when they did do another one recently, which was just called Texas Chainsaw, because they dropped the massacre part of it because of obviously all of the.
It was the reboot for the second time, wasn't it?
Well, it was.
Or was it a reboot?
It wasn't a reboot. Basically, it was made as a direct sequel to the original. So that starts off as the original one finishes.
Oh right, okay.
And then it goes forward to like the distant relatives of the Sawyer family and Leatherface, and I think it's like his niece ends up inheriting the house.
Okay.
But
is it worth watching?
I really like. Oh, you know me with horror films. I can watch anything. But yes, it is worth watching. The girl who's in it is very, very attractive.
Divine.
Lovely.
Divine.
Yeah, she's stays fully clothed through all of it though. But if you do,
Well, it's not the 80s anymore now, is it?
No, but if you did want to see that, that's I think True Detective. She has a go on Woody Harrelson.
Oh, she's got those piercing blue eyes, isn't she?
Yeah, very attractive woman, and sorry, but she
God,
is.
I'm missing her name now. Okay, yeah, it'll probably come back to me.
Yeah, but yeah. So this one, the 1986 Chainsaw Massacre 2, they got Dennis Hopper in it, which is great, and yeah, he's kind of. You don't really know why he's got such a deep hatred for the Sawyer family.
Sex is, well, nobody knows. But the Saw is family.
Other than the fact that he knows that they're going on, but there's a weird, and I'm going to jump to near the end, but there's a weird bit where he finds the skeleton in the wheelchair, and you to assume that's one of his family,
sister, I think, isn't it?
or his sister or his brother. I didn't know whether it was supposed to be the bloke from the original who was in the wheelchair.
He's got like this sheer determination, isn't he? To
Yeah,
and it's not. I don't think it's even to bring them to justice, is it? It's he just wants to do them.
Yeah.
It's like a vendetta, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's not. Where is he from though? Because he's not. Is he in? Does he come from Texas or just from like a different?
He is a detective, and
But
he's
from a different
from a
city or something.
from a different area, so he's out of his jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction. That's the word I'm thinking
Right.
of. Yeah.
And I think the sheriff there tries to
You're out of your jurisdiction, motherfucker.
that sort of thing. Yeah, but he's kind of like, well, he's going to do what he wants.
Oh yeah, but he pulls that geezer up quite sharpish, doesn't he? Because there's the local lad comes along and sort of basically threatens him. Well, I've got this thing in my pocket in which you're going to have to get on the next plane and fuck off back to where you come from.
Yeah.
And Dennis Hopper does that typical. Again, the viewers can't see us, but he does that typical thing because he looks to smoke, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And when Hopper has got a cigarette in his mouth, in all of his films, he sort of goes like that. Yeah. He sort of does that. And he's like, yeah, well, yeah. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. And the geezer kind of bricks it and goes, right, okay, well, I'll give you everything that you need. Good luck.
Yeah. But
I fucking showed him, didn't I? I tell you.
You're right with the cigarette with Dennis. He does
That's
do
why
that.
I've got to get a camera in here, mate. I made those little impressions yesterday, yeah.
Woo. But
Because it's exactly the same. It reminded me of True Romance when he's getting tortured
Yes, and he
by
gives
Christopher
him
Walken.
the-
He gives him the cigarette and he's
Yeah.
like that, and he talks to the old
he does.
eggplant. Yeah.
You're
You-
right.
You're
You're
with
right.
me now,
You're
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
so
always
everyone
with you.
else will know, won't they?
I'm
I
always
think,
with you,
okay,
baby.
well, I don't really know what you're talking about.
Chesterfield.
Yeah.
Give me one of those
Give me
Chesterfields.
Chesterfield.
Yeah.
Okay, what's True Romance? Ah, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, though, with these horror type films, we're straight into the action. Straight into
There's
the
no
action.
messing about, is there?
No messing about. And there's two absolute yuppie wanker bellends that are in a car.
Oh man, they fucking deserve it though, don't they?
Yeah, Bill, that's let's
Wearing those one's wearing those hologram lens glasses,
This is-
you
yeah.
remember, back in the 80s with just
Yeah.
with eyeballs on it, and he's got like a 6-shooter, isn't he? And they're driving along at
100 miles
100
an
miles an
hour,
hour,
yeah.
and he's just shooting the signs
Yeah.
as they go by for no particular reason other than just being a twat.
But he's just roaring with laughter as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and what makes the driver even more of a twat is that he's sporting this lemon pullover,
Yeah.
which just looks fucking ridiculous.
But they are supposed to be definitely what you'd call now fucking middle class white privilege
Wankers,
tossers,
yeah.
Because there's there's a big football match, American football match going on in where they're going to. Mm-hmm. So they've decided to get fucking pissed up, coked up. That's why they're acting like that.
Speeding on down the highway, and then it's almost like they're like terrorising the local DJ, aren't they?
Well, they're listening to her, aren't they? The
That's
local
right.
DJ, Stretch,
Stretch, that's it, yeah. How's her name, Stretch?
who has at first got an annoying accent, but that kind of depletes.
Well, I think it's the radio voice, isn't she?
Oh yeah,
She
yeah,
sort of,
yeah,
like talks like us, and then like when she sort of goes on the radio, she's like, "Hi and welcome to
Yeah.
KO." Was it what?
KO. But yeah, so she kind of doing phone in, so they decide to phone in on their swanky car phone.
Car phone, yeah, like Roger Murtaugh's and
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon.
And start giving it the big one.
Yeah, they don't actually request anything, do
No,
they?
they don't. They're just acting Larry down there and saying they want to meet her and blah 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 blah. Anyway,
For some reason, she can't get them off the line.
yeah, I know. That's the
You think
stupid-
just
hang it up.
Yeah,
hang it up, then.
hang up, hang up.
Hang it up. Can't get them offline. But anyway, they decide to there's another car coming down the road, and they decide to do chicken, don't they?
Yeah.
But so they go over and cause the other car to pull away out of the way.
But
Little
again,
do
with
they know.
Little do they know. There's no messing about. The truck instantly turns around, does a 180, and thinks, "That's it. I'm after these fuckers
Yeah,
now."
because you know who's in there.
Exactly.
Naughty. So anyway,
Someone you don't want to fuck with.
this truck they tried to play chicken with kind of catches up with them.
Later on down the road at night time, it's on that little bridge. It's on a little bridge.
But they're driving alongside each other, and the two blokes, the two dickheads, they don't slow down or speed up or do anything. They just stay level with it. And then,
And they're driving, I think they're driving like some form of Mercedes.
yeah.
And-
And at this point, they've phoned back Stretch on the DJ thing.
So she's
start
hearing
winding
it.
up. So she's hearing it. And then all of a sudden, our boy fucking Leatherface pops out, chainsaw in tow.
Wait,
He's got a corpse with
He's
him.
got a corpse in it, yeah.
He's put a corpse in front of him, so it just looks like
A dancing corpse,
a
doesn't it?
dancing reanimated corpse. Yeah, which is horrendous as well. But obviously, the geezer with the gun tries to shoot, and he shoots the corpse in the head.
Does nothing.
Does nothing, and then obviously Leatherface puts that down, starts having a go with the car, at the car with the chainsaw,
Massive chainsaw.
It's huge, and it's fucking awful. But another kill.
Oh yeah, this is a good one though.
Yeah.
This one.
And he kind of cuts away to the geezer with the glasses and the gun, like getting all hysterical. And he looks around his mate driving, and he looks a bit concerned.
As he should be.
And fucking half his head just slides off, doesn't it? Whoa! Waggling his fingers.
And then at that point, the car crashes, doesn't it?
Crashes, and that's when you cut to Dennis Hopper going here.
I mean, I know it's one of those films where I suppose the whole suspension of disbelief, but again, they're in this car. Like you say, they're not going any slower, not going any faster.
Nah.
The truck's going in reverse. There's no way on earth that truck would keep up with them, even if they were
not
just
even
kind
in
of
reverse. It's so straight.
But the geezer with the glasses keep saying, "Speed up! Let's get away! Get away!"
Yeah.
The geezer's obviously not even flooring out. It's just like,
Well, he has just had his head half chopped.
yeah. But even before that,
Even before that.
he's not bothering.
The one thing I wanted to say though is obviously they're in Texas, so Dennis Hopper is a cowboy, but his cowboy hat is so fucking big, it's almost like Jim Carrey's in Dumb and Dumber. Isn't it? When he goes, we only need to buy the essentials to go on the trip in Dumb and Dumber. He buys that massive hat and the bat and ball.
But he does look quite. I thought he looked quite cartoonish in that outfit because even his trousers are cut so that the back
The
of the trousers,
boot, you can see
right
the
to
cowboy boots.
yeah, just you can see the cowboy boots. But yeah, it's a massive noggin on top of his noggin.
And then you find out that his name's Lefty, but that's never really explained either.
No,
He might be left-handed, or I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? But also with it, for some sort of weird thing, he goes after the Sawyers, which are Leatherface's family, but he goes to that place which sells chainsaws. Look at the shop that sells chainsaws.
Yeah, and what I like about that, I think you're probably gonna touch on it, but it's when he doesn't say anything, does he? He goes in,
No.
literally puts down like a monkey or something like that.
Yeah.
Picks up the 3 he wants. Doesn't even ask, does that cover it? He's
No.
like, no, I think it does.
Yeah.
He goes outside and he starts fucking hacking at that massive log.
Yeah.
But he's actually whacking the damn thing. And you can tell in certain shots it's not Hopper.
No.
But what I found really funny was as he's doing that, the geezer's come out,
Yeah.
he stood there on the shop, and it's almost like he's kind of really amused. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's getting all excited about it, isn't he? As he's chopping away.
Yeah, I think when he takes him though, he does say to him, "Do you not want to try them? There is a thing outside, and do you need any fuel?"
Yeah.
He kind of says that. But then he comes out and he sees what he's doing, and he does start laughing as well. But I think that's to kind of try and tip you to say, is he related to the Sawyers? Because they're all supposed to be fucking nuts, aren't they? But yeah, the old fart loves it, doesn't he? Giving it some fucking willy there. Yeah, so... But also, then after that, it cuts to a fucking Texas chili contest.
Oh, yes, right.
Sex is, well, nobody knows. But the Saw is family.
But there's like, someone's pouring chili into the
It's like a cup, which is the award, isn't it?
award thing, yeah. It looks like fucking runny old shit,
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Running all down the side of it.
Yeah, but then obviously we find out that it's a Sawyer that's won it for the best tasting chili, But it's never alluded to. But basically, it's because it's human meat. Like what's his name? Old who made the pies?
That's what I really like. Again, it's those little moments as he's
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
As he's about to take the mic, as that old bird just jumps up and she scabs a little bit, don't she?
But also, he picks up someone's nail.
What's that?
It's one of those hard peppercorns.
Whoop, whoop. One of those hard shell peppercorns.
But he's funny as well, that guy.
He's brilliant,
He's
isn't
really
he?
funny. And yeah, so that's basically the Sawyers do. They collect humans, harvest them to make chilies for the
And win awards. Regional awards.
But he's on his way home, or pleased as jam with himself as he's won that, and then someone gives him a bell on his car phone.
Yeah, they've all got car phones, haven't they?
Yeah.
And his massive RV.
But they're telling him to put on the radio because the DJ is playing the chainsaw.
So the two yuppies getting murdered.
Yeah.
It's been recorded.
So she's playing it again.
Yeah.
And obviously they panic because they think that they're going to get found out.
I got a real good eye for prime meat. Runs in the family.
So
He sends the boys round.
He sends the boys to the down to the old radio station.
And by that point, old Dingo, whatever his name is, has gone out for coffee, isn't he? He's left her by herself.
Dingo.
I
Oh, what
remember.
LG? The guy. That
LG,
was,
is it, yeah.
LG, yeah. So the guy that's in the station with her, he's gone out to get a coffee. So she's now on her own, and she hears something outside, and this is where you get to my favourite character.
Yeah.
In this film, and probably a lot of 80s horror films, is Bill Moseley playing Chop Top, which is fucking awesome.
Time for incoming mail!
Because he's got all the old hippie gear on. He's got these massive teeth.
Massive gnashes, isn't he?
Gnashes,
Freaky
and
as
little
fuck.
John Lennon glasses. And he looks like he's supposed to be a hippie.
Ringo's wig on.
Yeah.
And he keeps scratching his head, doesn't he? With
Yeah.
a coat hanger, and he keeps lighting it.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be.
But
just
you don't
grim.
really know kind of what it comes to it, though, doesn't he? Because I'm
No.
thinking, like, why does he keep doing that?
What it is he's supposed to have been in Nam. He's supposed
Yep.
to have been in Vietnam, and he's got a bit blown up, and he's had to have a metal plate put in his head. But what he does do is he wears a wig over it, just to cover it up. But he calls it a Sonny Bono wig.
That's it, yeah.
And
Look what you did to my Sonny Bono wig, dude! Oh, God!
so he's kind of talking to her. And he keeps saying, "Okay, good night." Like from sleep, he goes, "Good night,
Good
She goes,
night.
good night, good night, good night."
Don't get the hint, though, does he?
No, and okay,
Oh, because he wants a tour, and she's just literally picking up stuff on the
yeah,
desk.
this is that.
And then
yeah.
it's like, good night, good night.
Yeah, exit.
There's the exit, fuck off.
Yeah.
Good night.
He says, "Good night, good night," and then obviously Leatherface bursts in with his fucking chainsaw gun. He
Woo!
fucking clumps Chop Top over the head by accident, and it kind of sparks because he hits his metal plate, and it's,
There goes the syrup.
sets fire to his Sonny Bono syrup. And he goes, he's got sort of weird wisps of hair, hasn't he, on his bald head?
And there's this like metal plate thing. hanging
Yeah,
on
which
it.
is exposed, which you can see then is what he's scratching with the coat hanger.
coat hanger, yeah.
Because it's gone all sort of mouldy round the outside of it,
Yeah.
innit, where he keeps picking at it and setting. Yeah, he keeps burning it with a lighter, doesn't he, and then burn it off and then licking it.
Dirty little git.
Oh, it's weird, isn't it? Sonny Bono, yeah. And then he goes to get the DJ, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he sets Leatherface off, doesn't he?
Yeah,
And
because
she's locked herself in this storeroom with a massive like steel door, and he can't get through.
he
can
he goes, "Go get her," and he goes, "Dog will hunt." It's that sampled in a Primus song. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's in Jerry Was a Race Car Driver because it sounds like the sound of the chainsaw stops,
Yeah.
and then it's him going, "Dog will hunt."
Did you get her, Bubba? Did you get that bitch?
But then obviously LG comes back with the coffee, so he walks in and finds this lunacy going on, and Chop Top smacks him over the head with a hammer.
Yeah, repetitively as well.
Yeah, keeps on. Yeah.
I'm surprised he lasts as much as he did. You think a good few blows with that, and cracking your head open like an egg.
Yeah,
But he's still there going.
yeah, he is. But then
That's one tough son of a bitch.
there's another bit as well. There's another bit where Chop Top's got a great line, and I can't remember. I should have written down what it is. I don't know if it's either the woman or Leatherface does. The thing is, right, throughout the film, the dialogue, most of the dialogue isn't very good in it, but all of the dialogue that comes from the Sawyers, I mean, Leatherface doesn't talk anyway, but Chop Top and the main guy who makes the chili and stuff, all of their dialogue is really quite funny. It's horrendous, but it's funny.
It's almost like they concentrated more on that, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the rest of it's very sort of...
Well, she just screams a lot, doesn't she?
Oh, she screams all the way through it. But then, to be fair, you would, wouldn't you?
Like, if you had that odd-looking individual...
Well, he looks pretty bad, because obviously... He's called, if anyone doesn't know, and you should know, he's called Leatherface because he's cut someone else's face off, or various faces off a mask and wears them
As a
mask himself. But when she's locked in the thing, he bursts through and goes like that. But that is the scene they show in The Burbs when Tom Hanks is flicking through the channels at night before he goes to sleep, and it's all different horror films, because it starts off with the film which has got the...
when he's in the bedroom?
He's in the bedroom and he's flicking it over, and it's got The Exorcist. Then another film, and he flicks over to that, and then it's the bit when he bursts through, and she's just going, ah! With all the records.
Sat on top of for no apparent reason, a bar full of ice and beer.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be hot. They're supposed to be like redneck Texas in it and all that.
But a whole bar's worth?
Yeah, well, it's all ice, isn't it? Would have been iced. Have you never filled your bath out of ice and filled it with beer?
No.
A
bucket would do.
You fucking yuppie.
That's what refrigerator's for, mate. Fucking
No, mate. You do that, or you stick it in the washing machine. Fill your washing machine up with some ice, bung all your beers in there.
Never heard of that.
You've never heard of that?
No, not a
or your
washing
bath. Bath filled
I've
up
heard of
with
a bath, yeah. I'm just saying that it just, for me, it felt a bit odd that this store cupboard would have a whole bath's worth of ice.
Well, that is also so that he could keep smashing the chainsaw down, and she gets all wet, and then he kind of, the chainsaw stops, doesn't it? And then he kind of starts sort of like shagging her with it, but not actually. He kind of runs it up her leg and that, doesn't he?
Well, she encourages it, doesn't she? Because I thought she was going to wait for him to get to a certain part, like maybe sort of like inside the thigh, so that she could clobber him around the head with the other leg, the other foot. But it kind of goes all the way right up to the part.
Yeah, the old holiest of holies.
Exactly. And then he kind of just then insinuates that he's actually
doing it,
giving her one.
And then he kind of backs off, and then he looks like he comes in his pants.
I see. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And then she just hides in the corner. So, I mean, I really thought she was going to... You know,
she keeps saying that, what have I done wrong, what have I done wrong?
You think she's going to find a wrench or some sort of magical pistol in the corner.
But the weird thing is in this one as well with Leatherface, he keeps on doing this weird sort of cha-cha dance with he holds the chainsaw above his head and then sort of like shakes his tits.
And then he just runs away.
Yeah. So, anyway, he fucks off with Chop Top, but he makes Chop Top think that he's killed her. So they take LG with them, don't they, and then fuck off.
Yeah, because I thought that was quite interesting, because, I mean, I suppose in the first one, he's almost like portrayed as just this kind of lunatic with a chainsaw, and that's it. Whereas this one, it's almost like he's got a bit of a conscience.
Yeah, I think
because the only reason she's alive is because he leaves her, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he thinks that he's got
that's his
chance.
bird. That's it. Yeah,
nuts.
Oh, bird, I've kept her sweet.
Yeah, but obviously,
I'll be back, my love.
Obviously, he's got quite a lot wrong with him.
Well, just a bit.
Anyway, they fuck off, but rather than the stretch, she doesn't wait for Dennis Hopper to turn up, who's supposedly late. She thinks, oh no, sod it, I'll go after them on my own.
Follow them.
With
the lights on.
All the way to
their little lair.
Until I get there.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like a weird. They've got a weird cave, haven't they, that they live in?
Well, it's like an old theme park, isn't it? What's it called? Something Land.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes it believable in the sense that
There's
when
all that weird shit. Yeah.
it's all the weird shit. She falls through the ground, doesn't
Yeah.
she? So basically, she thinks she's being chased by the Sawyers. It's not. Dennis Hopper's just randomly turned up.
But why doesn't he stop and say? But the thing is that as well.
Actually-
He's driving and looks like he's going to run her over.
Over,
She's
so-
screaming.
And then she suddenly stops right on the mark. He gets
Yeah.
out, it's me.
Yeah.
She falls through a trapdoor.
Yeah.
And then you've got all this weird shit. She falls down what looks like some sort of slide. And then there's skulls and stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
But what makes it believable is the deeper she goes, you sort of really notice more about this land. And it really is
Yeah.
kind of like almost like an underground horror theme park.
Yes.
Which they've sort of
Yeah.
they've settled into, haven't they?
But also, Dennis Hopper, before she falls all the way in, she's sort of like being held up by a load of dirt and cobwebs.
Oh, he offers a bit of help, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
Offers a helping.
Yeah, he puts down a fucking old bone like an arm, innit? Like that's going to help anyway. So she grabs hold of it and then it snaps. Oh, did that skeleton arm not?
Bloody thing, pretty brittle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How unreliable.
I'll take you back to hell! I'll take you out!
But anyway, she kind of
Finds the lair.
she finds the lair, and you see Leatherface sort of getting ready to do his shit. Poor old LG. He
Carves them up, doesn't he?
Well, he doesn't carve him up, does he? He just takes some of his skin off. He takes a bit of leg, bit off his arm and hand, and then he does the face.
Yeah.
And then he notices that she's there, and obviously he's kind of, again, struggling with his conscience. And for some weird reason, she says, help me try and get out. She pops LG's face on.
And then the cowboy hat on top
And
of
the cowboy hat, so she looks ridiculous. But
Then they have a little dance.
yeah. And then she keeps trying to take it off, and he's stopping her, and then he ties her arms so she could, like a T-Rex, so she can't reach it. Well, with that, LG wakes up again. So he's
How the fuck is he
he's
still
had his
alive?
head caved in with a hammer, and now he's had like his face removed and that, and he wakes up. Oh, I mean, he looks fucking horrendous, obviously.
Yeah,
without
he
that.
looks like he's had a bad one, doesn't he?
Yeah, that looks like. Oh, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine the amount of pain you'd be in. I mean, the amount of pain you get when you fall over and you graze your arm or something, and your skin comes.
Yeah, he's got
off.
half of his torso like skinned off, isn't he?
Yeah.
Poor bloke.
Yeah, he looks fucking even worse than he did before, doesn't he? Anyway, he manages to help her before he joshes it, and just for good measure, she pops his face back on. But to be honest, you're never going to get it looking like it did before.
No, it's not that she sort of stays around long enough to try and make it look as good as before.
Well, no, you wouldn't, would you?
Yeah, just pop it on.
Yeah.
There you go.
But then with that, Hopper gets all his chainsaw regalia out. So he's got 2 chainsaws on each of his side, and the big one he's carrying, and he just starts sawing stuff down.
Bring it down!
And he's going nuts, and he's talking about God and all this business.
I'm the Lord of the harvest.
Yeah, they don't hear it though. It's almost like it's wasted.
No. But yeah, he's doing all that bizzo, and that's when you see the wheelchair, and you think there must be some sort of connection with someone that he knows that
It's
has
fallen under their hands.
Yeah, in the old but or quite like that as well as when they're chasing the girl. She's where she is, and there's all the like fairy lights and that, and then it looks
It's
really
almost
horror-like.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they've just put their mark on this horrific theme park because she's
Yeah.
running down there, and there's all these fairy lights, as you say, and then there's just like the random bodies here and there. They
Yeah.
kind of just like vamped it up a bit more,
Yeah. But
and then she finally sort of gets to they're having dinner, aren't they? And then you got the old granddad's there, isn't he?
well, that's when they actually catch up with her, don't they? And this is reminiscent of the first one when they do the meal, when they get the girls, they put the girl on the table, and then they wake up the elder, which is the oldest member of the Sawyer family. They say he's 137 years old. That's fucking bollocks. I mean, he does look old. I mean, he's grim, innit? He looks fucking awful. But yeah, he kind of... he's supposed to smack her over the nut, isn't he, with the hammer.
That's right.
He keeps trying to do it, but where he's so old, he's not got the strength, and they're trying to get it to him. They've got her head over a big tin bath type thing, which is where you'd catch the... It's kind of like how they would do an old, like, if they got a pig or some sort of animal, isn't it? I mean, not one for the vegans, I suppose.
Probably.
So back to this, then one of them actually clumps her around the head quite hard, and I think that's it, she's done. Because she doesn't move, does she?
But she's pretty hard.
Yeah. But that's when Leatherface and Dennis Hopper have the chainsaw duel. So they're both going at it, and they kind of
like Kenobi and Vader.
That's what they say, yeah, like that, yeah, like a lightsaber fight. And he's got the two and all that, and he's got the one. But the funny bit in that is the oldest fella who makes the chili. He Dennis Hopper shoves it in his arse, doesn't he?
Tries to run away, doesn't he?
Yeah, he tries to run away, and he went, "Whoa!" Right on the old bum. Whoa! And he goes, "Whoa!"
And then he gets it again, doesn't he? A little bit later.
Well, what he is, he's hiding under the table, isn't he? And then he goes,
and they're fighting on top.
They're fighting on top, and he cuts to him, and he's under there counting how much money he's got left, and obviously he's been chainsawed in the bum. And he goes, "Small businessman always gets it in the ass."
And right on cue.
And then he reaches round, and he goes, "Oh, at least it's sorted out the roids." But yeah, so for some reason Leatherface ends up with the chainsaw right through him. I think it's his own one.
Right through the gut, isn't it? Yeah,
right through. It's his own, right through the front and coming out the back. And that's when Matey under the table decides he's going to let a grenade off.
Which looks about 300 years old.
Yeah. It does.
It looks well old, doesn't it?
But by this time, the girl, Stretch, has woken up and she's sort of run off, so Chop Top's decided to go and chase her.
This is Stretch on an open request line on K. Oakland in Burke Burnett, Texas. Red River rock and roll from the tip top of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
And yeah, the grenade goes off, and I think that does all of them, doesn't it? For all you don't see Dennis Hopper again after that, do you?
No, I think he's quite happy to go down with the ship now, and as long as he gets his vengeance.
Yeah, but that's when they kind of Chop Top's chasing her down the tunnel, and they kind of get to a point where they come out, and it's daytime by the time they come outside. And
so they've been at it all night.
It's really weird, like you say. It kind of looks a bit like the Mars in Total Recall.
Yeah, it does
like desolate, or something that you'd find in a Russ Meyer film. That sort of landscape type thing. But
it looks like a load of steel in which they've kind of sprayed some sort of substance over it to hide the steel.
Yeah,
to
make
give
it look like rock.
Make it look like rock. Yeah.
And then there's like a man-made ladder type staircase all the way up to the
so
they're
they're ascending, aren't they? And then he's behind her and he's kind of slashing at her legs and stuff.
Yeah, that because he's got a cutthroat razor, and he I thought, oh, that's fucking odd.
Quite a lot, don't you?
Yeah, he does the backs of her legs with it. He's kind of slashing her
on the back of the Scylla.
But they get to the top and they go in the room. There's the fucking Grandma Sawyer.
Yeah.
Grandma Sawyer.
Who do they find?
Yeah, Grandma Sawyer. Fucking great big chainsaw sitting on her
on
lap.
her throne.
She looks fucking more decomposed than bloody...
the Emperor.
Well, yeah, the Emperor. Or Norman Bates' mum. There must be a fucking nod to that. Although they're based on the same character, aren't they?
Are they?
Leatherface, Norman Bates, and Hannibal Lecter are all based on Ed Gein.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the serial
I suppose
killer
they are,
from the
aren't they?
30s, yeah. Yeah, anyway, so she goes and pulls the chainsaw out of the grandma's hands.
To defend itself. And while she's trying to get that started...
Chop Top's sort of slashing her across the back and everything, isn't he? But also he's going on about, Grandma, anymore. It doesn't hurt my grandma. Anyway, she shoves that through him. He then goes outside, falls out the steps, and then sort of falls into a sort of chimney type thing.
Back down to the...
bit like Blofeld.
Blofeld, yes, yeah.
When he's in the wheelchair and he just sort of like gets on the helicopter.
On the helicopter. See you later.
See you later, Blowy.
Hey, lick my plate, you dog dick!
And that's when you get to the end of the film. But what it is...
But before the end of the film, just before...
Yeah, she obviously just done him, got the chainsaw. She steps outside and does the cha-cha dance with the chainsaw above her head.
Yeah, because I thought, I can understand her just sort of going, holding the chainsaw up. And then she starts doing the fucking dance. She starts going,
yeah. Which is what he does at that's what...
Which then made me think, is she supposed to be going as mad as what he is?
Yeah. Could it be that?
Could it be that? And also, just before it cuts, now I don't know if it was a bit of smoke, but just before she cuts, there's something white behind her materialises, and I didn't know if it was supposed to be Grandma. It's very quick, because I had to go back a couple of times, but you can't quite make it up. But watch it again.
Oh, I will.
But yeah, it's just quite bad, because it's wide shot.
Yeah.
And she's just going, whoa.
She's sort of dancing. Again, very much like a Russ Meyer type film.
Yeah.
Maybe we should look at one of those ones with like those really buxom women running around the desert.
Why not?
But yeah, I really like that one. I think it's easier to watch than the original. It's obviously not as serious as the original. It's a good comedy horror, I'd say, and I think Bill Moseley, who is Otis in House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, is really good as Chop Top, and it wouldn't surprise me if Rob Zombie had got him to do that based on the fact that he was in that.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. To me, for a horror film, again, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of strange in the sense that it was horrific, comedic, emotional, and action-packed. Almost at times, it didn't know what it really wanted to be, and did it want to be all of it? And I wasn't too sure. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
And it still had that sort of essence of the original one, but again, they just took it into a more black comedy kind of realm. Again, with he has the triple chainsaws, but yet he actually looks like he's made gun holsters. For his chainsaws,
the smaller ones.
The smaller ones. That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's easier to watch than the original.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the whole franchise of Chainsaw Massacre, I personally really liked the remake and the prequel they made for it.
What, the one with McConaughey?
No, that McConaughey one is the fourth one, which is the Next Generation, which has got Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in it.
Is Jessica Biel on one of them?
I don't know, she might be.
Or maybe she's in the remake. I thought she was in...
She's in the remake, yeah. She's in the remake, yeah. That, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
She's in the remake. She's good in that, actually. But yeah, Renee Zellweger's in that one. That's kind of, I don't know. That might be late 90s, but I think Leatherface is full on transvestite in that one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because I think in the original, in the first one, at the end he puts on a different mask, and that's got lipstick and eyeshadow on it, but he's wearing a suit. In the fourth one, he's got a dress on and wearing a woman's face.
Oh, okay.
The third one, which is quite good, that's quite dark. That's kind of more like a Nightmare on Elm Street type vibe to that.
Right.
But the second one, I just thought it's a really good film. Very, good balance, straight into the action.
Yeah, it was definitely fun.
It's obviously horrific and not everyone's cup of tea, but yes, I liked it.
I liked it. A couple of funny facts I found in the film was the one of the posters for it, like the family group shot, is actually like a mock-up of The Breakfast Club.
Is it?
Yeah, so if
'Cause
you,
it-
you
yeah,
go,
if
go
you
online
look
and
at
have a look, yeah.
And it's also because it's got the corpse as well.
That's
lying
it,
across
yeah, exactly. It's just like
which is
yep.
the
Yeah, we're looking
Yeah,
at
it
it,
is,
looking
it
at it right now.
is,
We're looking at
yeah,
it right
yeah.
now, yeah. Yeah, it's exactly
Molly Ringwald.
Molly
It's
Ringwald.
the corpse.
That's
yeah.
it. And there's
Yes,
that
it
one,
is,
and then
yeah.
also that Dennis Hopper thought it was the worst movie he'd ever been in until he got round to Super Mario Brothers.
Well, yeah, that takes the fucking cake, doesn't it?
Cheers,
Jesus.
Bob.
Yeah, but yeah, no, thoroughly enjoyable. Another great Halloween horror type shizen.
I'd give it a 7.
Chainsaw Massacre franchise is probably my favourite out of the different horror films. Again, because I think the first one was it was banned obviously for a long time in this country, and you know, it's the start of that whole weird slasher type stuff. And I did like the remakes. I did like the 3D one, even though you don't need to watch it in 3D. That's bollocks.
They made a 3D one.
Well, that's the Texas Chainsaw. They've changed it to Texas Chainsaw because they didn't want to use Massacre anymore because of all of the issues they've had with people going apeshit with guns in America because of their fucking loose gun laws and what have you.
Right.
So they did that one in 3D, which I thought was good, and it was kind of worked as a direct sequel to the first one. Mm-hmm. But then they also did the last one they did was called Leatherface, which is the origin story.
There's always an origin story, isn't there?
Yeah, but this is from when he was a kid, and Stephen Dorff's in that one actually.
Was he?
Yeah, he's the
Sheriff?
He is, yeah. Yeah, but that's quite good as well because it kind of like goes through different things. He works in a slaughterhouse, and then ends up in an insane asylum. But great, I'm going to spoil it as well. But the great thing is, you think who Leatherface is right up until about nearly 2/3 of the way through the film, and it's not the person you think it's going to be.
Ah,
it's a geezer who used to be in EastEnders.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need to watch it now.
Nah, I see it again. It is worth a watch. He ends up getting he gets his face mutilated at the end, which is why he wears the mask. Because it cuts him.
Cuts him.
Bit like the Joker in Batman Fever.
Batman Fever.
Anyway,
Bosh.
lovely stuff. Lovely. So that's that.
Done.
And no, I haven't got any. I don't think I've got a Tickle Kev's fancy for this one. I was just going to mention, though, I don't think we've said that obviously Norm Macdonald died the other week, which obviously wasn't hugely known in England. Yeah, he was. He was good. I liked him. He was a very good stand-up. Canadian. Always had a good comeback for people when they were sort of heckling him or dissing him or what have you.
Quick, was he?
He was very quick. Very, very quick indeed.
I never saw him in Billy Madison, and what was the other one he did with Sandler? Did you do another one, Sandler?
He normally cropped up in Sandler films. Anyway, big shout out to Norm Macdonald. He was very good.
Very good.
Oh man, Billy, I just thought of the funniest thing. Billy? Where's Billy? He's in school, man. Oh, yeah.
I found a couple for Tickle Kev's fancy.
Right.
So, as we're sat here next to each other, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, and then we can see what you think. Here comes picture number 1. Takes you a little while to see that.
Takes a while, yeah. You got to figure it out, haven't you?
Yeah.
So there's a shopper coming out of a Waitrose, and the line says, "I'm saying nothing." But when you look in the window, and the window is divided up into 4 bits because there's basically like a window frame in there. there is a sign behind that says, wow, it says something like Waitrose love something you, and I suppose the word is supposed to say count, but the beam is going right through the O, cutting out the O, so it says you cunt.
Yeah.
Very good. They didn't think of that, did they? Bless them.
Wait, love, you cunt. That's what it looks like. Right, let's have another little one for you.
What has she got?
It's a bit of a one you've got to look at for it. It's one of those sort of brain teasers, isn't it?
It's her arm, isn't it? It's her arm.
It's her arm, yeah. So what you've got here is you've got the Chuckle Brothers.
I've met them.
And it says, for a second, I thought she was drinking a dick. So there's a lady in between two Chuckle Brothers.
The Chuckle Brothers.
And she's just holding up a glass, but her arm and the way her hair's sitting on it looks like a big dildo.
That's good, that is.
It's one of those ones,
An optical illusion, isn't it?
Optical illusion.
Coptical.
Here's the one for you. Obviously American.
Unvaxxed, waxed, and ready to climax.
But who would look at the state of her? I think that's what they call in America them Karens they got in America, isn't it? Nutters.
I saw something that looked very similar to that back on the old, what was the old black and white show when he had the old horse?
Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
Mr. Dead. Mr. Dead. And just last couple which are based around the petrol thing this week is this one I like. It's the classic Leonardo DiCaprio pose from Django Unchained.
See, I don't even need to read that, and that's just good.
Yeah, him doing that's good enough.
So it's the old the DiCaprio with his glass up, Django, and it just says electric car owners right now.
Yeah. Smug as anything. And here's the last one for you.
So we're at a petrol station. Phil McCann reporting if ever there was a roving reporter that could cover a fuel shortage.
His name's Phil McCann. Phil McCann with petrol. Anyway, that's a bit of silliness for us.
Which we like, which we love.
Do like. We love.
Which we are here.
Just before we wrap up,
Scarpa.
I just wanted to mention how much I was going to say I've been enjoying Richard Madeley.
Oh, for a moment I thought you were going to say I've realised how much of a cock you are.
Well,
hang on a minute.
How much of a Madeley you are.
Is he up to his partridge again?
It's mental. It's absolutely mental. I mean, it's almost like he's trying to be. It's like he's trying to be Alan Partridge, but it's so cringe. I mean, he's on GMTV. I think it's Monday through to Wednesday, and he's just such the wrong person to have on it sometimes. I mean, classic one the other day, they were speaking to the ISIS bride,
right?
That's in Iraq. She's lost her British citizenship. She wants to come back, and then there's obviously a big argument. But I mean, whatever side of the fence you want to sit on that, I don't,
down to you.
Down to you. But what the thing was Richard Madeley's interviewing her, and one of the things he said was so Partridge. He just went, "So, you went out there with two of your friends. They're now dead, blown up. How do you feel about that?" What?
That is so Partridge.
It is, isn't it?
It's gone 6 o'clock. Look who's here.
Hello. Morning.
TV legend Richard Madeley.
Did you see I fluffed my first link? And here is Alex with the first link of today's weather. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
My daughter fancies you, by the way. You look at the beach and you think, pretty, lovely golden sand. That's safe.
Yeah.
Not in certain parts of the country. Quicksand. And a horrible way to die. Why should I not be allowed a GMT or a glass of wine with the meal on a flight because of these idiots? Having knocked someone out, which means you've given them brain damage, that's medically speaking. Do you make a lot of money? Are you rich?
Are you rich?
Yeah. Are you? Come on, it's a serious question. Are you able to make good money?
People just want to know.
Criticising. I just want to know if there's money to be made. I'm not.
Yeah.
It used to be you see a guy beaten to a pulp, basically. You know Gabby Roslin, the presenter? Once I saw her in a restaurant and I was chatting to her and she was super thin and slim and looking great and I said, Gabby, are you expecting? So she went, no, what are you suggesting? It was all right, we had a laugh. Now, probably because of all the programming that I've done, particularly with Judy, about anorexia and eating disorders, I'll say this, I probably would have clocked it. And then Judy got pregnant very quickly again. It was an accident. Sorry, Chloe, but you were, and you know it.
The very first time I appeared on live television was on This Morning. It happened to be modelling raincoats. Yes.
When you mentioned it. All right, then let's move on. Here's Lucy with her first look at today's weather, and this morning she's up on the ITV roof.
And
I
then
think she's going to bloody well feel about it.
It's also like another bit of it was like, right, we're just going to go to an advert now. You stay there. So, yeah, well, that's the whole point. She's got to, isn't she? She can't go anywhere else.
Don't you move.
But there's some class. There's bits with he's on there with Andy Peters when he's just talking shite.
Somebody must have edited the best bits and put it on YouTube. We'll have to check it out.
We'll have to check it out, definitely, because it's definitely worth how partridgey is. But there was another. But he was talking to someone else about, and he made the comment of turning on a sixpence, which is a really old-fashioned thing, and I don't think he got the reaction he wanted from it, so he mentioned it again. So as I said before, it's like it's turning on a sixpence, which is an old saying that my mum used to. It's like, oh, shut up, Maidley, you bellend. I mean, you're very entertaining at the moment, but Christ.
That's brilliant. Just in case I didn't hear it the first time.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't get it. I'll just repeat myself.
And it's like,
and it's still
every time they have someone on there, I remember, I know that person actually. I remember the first time when I spoke to her with Judy, and it's like, no one gives a toss. It's like when poor old Greavesy died the other week. He's on there. He said, "Oh, I've got a story about. I've never actually met Jimmy Greaves." Well, there's not a story then, there is there? That's it.
Well,
cut it off there.
We just don't want to hear it now.
Yeah, I've never actually met him. Well, you can't do a story about it then.
That's
can
your
you?
story.
Yeah, I've never had my ears syringed in all my life. Anyway, Maidley, that's about it for this week. Let's wrap it up there. So
tune in for some more Maidley soon.
Anyone who does listen to us, the few people that do listen to this shit, if you want to, please continue to listen to us, obviously, but please try and give us a nice review on any of the platforms you listen to us on. We're after 5-star reviews. I think we've had one review which gave us 1 star.
No. We've got a number of reviews.
Have we?
They've all been good, yeah. But just
okay.
So somebody's given us one.
There's There's one shit review.
Yeah, but they haven't put why.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand that, and I'd respect that if there was some critical,
critique. Yeah, we can see.
But some bellends just going, I'm going to give it 1 out of 5.
Yeah. Do you know what they are?
Bellends.
A Maidley.
A Maidley, yeah. I see, yeah, you've been branded a Maidley now.
Yeah, that's going to be it. What a Maidley.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
Anything you can do to support us, we do it for you, and we do it for a giggle. And yes, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever one you choose. Please continue to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook
and all the other things that rule our life at the moment.
Yeah, and any suggestions you may have, maybe a film you think you dirty git, aren't you? Any films or TV or so you think that the Vultures might want to tackle? We're all ears. Yeah. Give us a shout.
Won't necessarily do it, but we're all ears.
Yeah.
We're all ears. Anyway, yeah. Give us a good review. Keep watching our stuff. Look out for our bits and pieces. We just want to make you laugh.
Well, we make each other laugh, don't we?
Yeah. Anyway, that's it from me.
That's it from him.
the two Maidleys. Anyway, catch you on the flippity floppity flu.
Goodly bye load.